Yo, what's up, comic fans? Welcome back to African Reads Comics. Today, we are going deeper than ever into one of Marvel's biggest character failures, Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. Why did she flop so hard? Why was she rejected by so many fans? And what does this tell us about modern comic book storytelling? Let's break it all down. A character that felt forced and uninspired. First off, let's talk about the biggest issue. Riri Williams didn't feel like an organic character. When Marvel introduced her in 2016, she was meant to be a groundbreaking hero or a young, black girl genius taking over for Tony Stark. Sounds cool, right? But here's the problem, she was rushed, forced, and completely uninspired. Hey guys, just a quick reminder. If you're enjoying this video, please support me by clicking the like button and subscribing to my channel. It really helps a lot in growing this small channel, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, let's get back to the video. She builds her own Iron Man suit at 15 years old, in a dorm room. No struggle, no major setbacks, just instant brilliance. And then, boom, she's suddenly Tony Stark's successor. It didn't feel earned, and fans saw right through it. Compare that to how long it took Peter Parker to master his abilities, or how Tony Stark had to refine and rebuild his armor through trial and error. Riri skipped all that and was immediately great at everything, which made her feel unrealistic and unrelatable. Earning the role matters. Comic book fans don't just accept new heroes because they exist, they need to earn their place. That's why Miles Morales, Kamala and Sam Wilson as Captain America worked. They each had meaningful arcs, personal growth, and internal conflicts that made them stand out. Miles Morales didn't just wake up as Spider-Man, his journey was full of self-doubt, failure, and a struggle to define himself outside of Peter Parker's shadow. Kamala didn't just inherit Ms. Marvel's mantle, she had to navigate her identity, her culture, and her newfound responsibilities. Even Sam Wilson, who had been established for decades as Falcon, faced resistance from both the public and himself when he became Captain America. But Riri? She barely had an origin story before being thrust into a major superhero role. There was no journey, no significant struggles, just Marvel telling us, she's amazing, now accept her. And that's not how great storytelling works. The writing was weak and out of touch. A great concept is nothing without great execution, and unfortunately, Riri's writing was a disaster. Brian Michael Bendis, a talented writer who gave us characters like Miles Morales and Jessica Jones, completely fumbled Riri Williams. Instead of giving her layers, struggles, and personality, he wrote her as arrogant, dismissive, and lacking any real emotional depth. Compare this to Tony Stark. Yes, he was arrogant too, but he was flawed. His alcoholism, his trauma from being a prisoner of war, his constant battle between ego and responsibility, all of that made him compelling. Riri, on the other hand, didn't have a meaningful flaw or a personal conflict that made her interesting. She was just good at everything and acted superior to everyone around her, which turned off readers. And let's talk about dialogue. Riri's speech felt like an out-of-touch attempt at writing a young black girl. Bendis, a middle-aged white man, didn't bring in cultural authenticity or nuance the way other creators did with characters like Miles Morales or Black Panther. The result? A character that felt inauthentic and disconnected from the very audience Marvel was trying to attract. She replaced Tony Stark too abruptly. One of the biggest mistakes Marvel made? They forced her into Tony Stark's shoes too quickly. Don't force legacy characters. When Riri was introduced, Tony Stark was put into a coma, and instead of earning her place, she was just given the Iron Man title. This never works. Fans want to see a hero grow into their role, not just show up and take over. Look at Miles Morales. He struggled with loss, self-doubt, and learning what it meant to be Spider-Man before fans embraced him. Riri. She skipped all of that. She went from building an armor in her dorm to fighting villains without ever going through the hardships that define a great superhero. This is why fans didn't connect with her. There was no journey. It felt like Marvel wanted to replace Tony Stark with a smarter version of him instead of crafting a hero with her own unique struggles and identity. A lack of depth and growth. Another problem. She had no real struggles to overcome. The best heroes struggle. Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Kamala, they all had big personal challenges that made them relatable. But Riri? She was a super genius from the start, already better than Tony Stark at building armor, and never really faced any major personal obstacles. Without struggle, where's the growth? Where's the story? Even outside of comics, we see this in pop culture. Look at Batman. His entire character is built around overcoming loss and pushing himself beyond human limits. Riri had none of that. She was too perfect, and in storytelling, perfect is boring. The comic sales were terrible. And you know what proves a character is struggling? Low comic book sales. The numbers don't lie. Her solo comic never sold well, and Marvel had to keep relaunching it to try and drum up interest. Meanwhile, Marvel was putting more effort into Dr. Doom's Iron Man comics than hers. That's when you know they had no faith in her long-term appeal. If fans were truly invested in her character, her books would have sold like hotcakes. Instead, they flopped, and Marvel kept trying to shove her into new stories, hoping something would stick. She felt like a marketing move, not a real hero. At the end of the day, fans saw through it. Marvel wasn't making a great new character, they were pandering. Representation matters, but it has to be done right. Diversity in comics is important, but it has to be authentic. Riri was created in a boardroom, not in the heart of great storytelling. That's why she failed where characters like Miles Morales succeeded. True representation isn't just swapping out old characters for new ones, it's creating heroes with rich backstories, struggles, and emotional depth. That's why characters like Static Shock, Spawn, and Black Panther have stood the test of time. Riri didn't. Can Riri Williams be saved? So, is there hope for Riri Williams? Maybe. With better writing, deeper struggles, and a story that isn't forced, she could be redeemed. But for now, she's one of Marvel's biggest flops. What do you think? Do you agree, or do you think Riri Williams deserves another chance? Hit me up in the comments, and let's talk. Comment below, can Riri be saved? If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on more comic book breakdowns. This is African Reads Comics, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.